we're going to talk about today is something I think that can transform your life if you let it. So pass these around. If you don't, meaning that if you don't give attention to this issue in your life is prone to unravel, fall apart, be a mess. Two simple words: integrity and honesty. Okay, so before you look at that paper, put your paper down real quick. Before you look at that paper, what is your definition of honesty?
Telling the truth.
Telling the truth. Okay, what's your definition? Somebody else of honesty.
Doing the right thing.
Okay, others? Honesty.
Not lying.
Not lying. Right. How about integrity?
Decency, like respectful.
Okay. What else? It's good. Good feedback.
It's a hard one.
It is. They're
That's all.
both hard. They're both
Like, cause like we all are around different people, you know. So like I think just like having respect for other people, having a conscience is what I think integrity means.
okay. That's good. It's good feedback. So we're going to define both those so we know what we're talking about today. So honesty and integrity. Honesty is pretty easy for you to figure out. It's not lying, but it's more than not lying. It's telling the truth. You know that you don't have to say anything when you're asked a question, but that doesn't mean you're telling the truth or lying. It means you're not saying anything. So that's why the police officers, you ever watch cops or see somebody, or if you've been arrested or anything, they say, here are your rights. You have the right to remain silent, which means that you don't have to talk because you may incriminate yourself. And we're not talking about that in this sense. We're talking about being honest as far as individuals. So there's honesty, which is not telling a lie and telling the truth. So why would honesty be important to you as a person? Or me as a person?
Because it's who you are. When
Okay,
people see.
right?
You can't be honest with yourself, like you expect that other people be honest.
Right?
The way people treat you.
Okay, good. What else? This side of the room. Why is honesty important? Why is honesty important if you're a parent?
That was hard.
Because if I'm not honest and if I tell them not to do something and I turn around and do something, it makes me a bad person.
Right? So that fits more with integrity. If you're not honest, if you lie and teach your kids to lie, then you're just creating liars. Or if you're telling the truth, then you're telling the truth. So when we do something wrong, a lot of times we don't want to be honest even with ourselves because we don't like the guilt, the shame, the junk that goes on with it. And if we're honest in this room, growing up in the system teaches you not to be honest. Because every time you say something that's the truth, something bad usually happens. So let's say you are in a home and you're in a foster home when you're 8 or 9 years old. And it's a decent home, but somebody's picking on you either at that school or in that house, or someone's doing something wrong to you, right? But you don't want to be honest about it because if you're honest, this home that maybe is the best one you've been in so far, now you got to move. And there's a chance that you might go to a group home like your sister or your cousin or your friend, right? And you know what played out there. So you're like, no, I'm not going to be honest. I'm just going to be quiet. So guess what that does to your little heart at 8 or 9 years old? It starts telling you, don't tell the truth, protect yourself. And so, and it just doesn't happen inside of foster care. It happens in my life. It happens in everybody's life. We go through things in our life growing up where we're either learning how to be honest and live with integrity, or we're not. And when we don't, then it's a very, very slippery slope to come back from being a liar. Because you know how easy it is to lie, right? And everybody says the jokes about, like when a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend, baby, does this dress make me look fat, right? It's like, and then the husband says it's not the dress, right? It's a bad joke, but it's an honest feedback to the person. She was looking for the answer of, you're beautiful, you're awesome. Nothing about all that, right? But instead, he was being a bozo and said something else to her, but very honest. Just because you're honest doesn't mean you have integrity, though. So in that minute, that little slice of life about the husband and this joke with the wife and the dress, he lost his integrity. Because integrity differs from honesty, in that integrity is about who we are in ourselves with other people as well. Honesty, you can lie to others, but you can also lie to yourself. Integrity is what other people see in you. So if you tell me you're going to show up at my house at 9, you commit to being there at 9. That's integrity when you show up. Now, if you are late and show up and make some excuse up like, oh, I got a flat tire, because you don't want to be bad about being late, then you're a liar. So you're not honest. Eventually, you will not have integrity. However, if you show up late and say, hey, you know what? I overslept, and I'm sorry. It's my bad. I'm trying to get better with this time thing. I really apologize that I inconvenienced you and you had to wait for me. I'm sorry. Now you're honest and you have integrity. So those things are important when you're doing anything in work, in case management stuff, in your own personal life, education, relationships, friendships, all that. The more honest you are with yourself, the more honest you can be with somebody else. Somebody in here said that. The more honest you are all throughout life, the more integrity you'll have. The more honesty and integrity you'll have, the more success you're going to have in life. Because guess what? If, let's say that somebody made a New Year's resolution that I want to go to the gym and get in shape, right? Okay, if you're honest with yourself, you look in the mirror, you look up Google my height and weight, and you figure out, you know what, I'm about 25 pounds overweight. I need to do something with my life. And then if you're honest with yourself, you'll go, what I eat on Monday night? Pizza and hot wings. What I eat on Tuesday? A liter of soda, 4 bean burritos from Taco Bell, and a $5 crunch meal from somewhere, right? So you start to go, this problem isn't just, my genetics, it's what I'm putting in my mouth and sitting on the couch all day and watching TV. You have to be honest with yourself in that assessment. How about how much money you make? If you're going to have a $10.50 or $11 an hour job, you have to be honest with yourself and say, what do I bring to the community? What do I bring to an employer? Now, you may think you're the best person in the world, and you probably are. I know you are. But you have to be able to prove that. Now, what does society look for if they're going to give you more money? What do they want to see? If any employer is going to give you more money, what do they want to see from you?
Improvement.
Hard work.
Improvement, hard work, what else?
Dedication,
Dedication. Well, can you just go be a doctor?
Honesty. Education.
Education. A specialist. You might have to learn a skill. Sorry?
Experience.
Reliability, experience. So even if you're a barber, right?
You have to-
Or a cosmetologist, or somebody who didn't go to, a four-year college or whatever. You could be a food service technician. You know that some of the highest paid chefs in America don't have a degree? The highest paid artists, singers, people. So they excel in their craft. Mechanics, they don't have to have a degree. There's all sorts of people. You don't have to go to college. You need to be honest with yourself and figure out who you are and start learning how to live that life and be successful in who you are. So one of the stories I like to tell is about a young man I used to work with. And he went to a school in Bakersfield and was on the football team. And he was 4th string. 1st string is the people that play every day. 2nd string are the ones that go in if the person might get hurt. 3rd string is just like there. 4th string, I don't know what they're doing at the field at all because there's no chance they're getting in. So this kid was 4th string on the football team. And the football team he was 4th string on was last place in the whole city of Bakersfield. They never won. So I'm talking to him one day about stuff like this, about dreams and goals and what do you want to do with your life. And he said, I want to play professional football in the NFL. And he's about 3 inches taller than me and super overweight, very slow, not a bone in his body that screamed out, I'm going to the NFL. And he's 18. So usually, that's when it all starts. You go to college, you go NFL. So I had to tell him, sit aside, say, listen, I hate to break your heart on this, and I'm a big guy in hope and dreams and chasing your goals, but there's no way you're going to the NFL. You might be a guy on the sidelines handing people water or a referee, or you might do something, but you are not playing in the National Football League. It's impossible. You play in Bakersfield, and you're 4th string on the lousiest team in the city. And in that moment, he had to go, yeah, you're right. He had to be honest with himself. Because we live in an age where you see everything out in front of you. You see people on TV that are doing this reality show over here and doing this over here, and they make it look glamorous, living in Alaska, making log cabin. Those people are freezing. like 360 days of the year. And they're working their tail off. But on TV, it makes it look all, oh, it's great. Or the people that are in LA on one of those lifestyle movies or one of the, you know, the housewife stuff, they make it sound like it's all fun. But all those people, they have no integrity or honesty. You see it all in the show. They gossip, they lie, they cheat, they steal from each other. They're divorced all the time, they're breaking up. Their life's a train wreck because they don't live in honesty and integrity. But yet we see this in society and go, oh, that's what I'm going to do, or I'm going to do this or that, or I'm going to get that quick buck, and it's not how it works. So honesty is telling the truth, but it's more than that. It's enjoying the truth. You know, when you're truthful, you never have to worry about the past. You don't have to worry about remembering what you said or what you did, because it's out there. Now when you lie, that's the hardest thing to do. Nobody's really good at lying. Most liars get caught. And then guess what happens inside their head? They get caught all the time. They go to bed every night, laying down, thinking I'm a big jerk. I'm lying to people, and I'm getting away with it. And that's probably the worst feeling. I could see him out in the street and say, hey man, you know, and lie to him about something. And we'll never meet again. And not a big deal. But I go home at night and I still got to deal with me, Randy the liar. And the more I lie to myself, going back to that gym thing, if I don't be honest with myself, then I can't do it with others. And all my relationships are going to be built on this lie. I used to be a pretty good liar. I used to think that lies were cool, that, you know, you had to maintain this face in the community with your family, with your friends, with your girlfriend, boyfriend, with whoever you were in line with. You know, it's easy to tell people what they want to hear, right? You know me, I believe in you. I want you to have a great life. I want you to never have kids that go into the foster care system. I want you to be successful. I want you to have the best life possible. So when you talk to me and I say, how are you doing? How are you coming along on your goals? It's easy for you to tell me, oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm really working hard at it.
Are you being honest?
Because you know that that's what I want to hear from you. And we're in relationship, even in some minor way, founded this organization just so you could come to a place like this and I could even share with you and watch your life transform and be changed. And your generations, years from now, 20 years from now, you have an awesome family, you know, forgotten all about who we are and what we did here. But that's what it's all about. So it's easy for you to say, just in this brief encounters we have together, to tell me whatever I want to hear. But that's the worst thing for both of us. I want to know if you're struggling with something so I can help. I want to know if you're saying, man, I don't sleep at night because my head is just too full of junk. I want to know that so I can help. I want to know that you're failing in math so I can get you find a tutor. I want to know that you're sick of dead-end jobs where you don't feel like you're doing anything with your life. So we can help you determine what skills and assets you do have, who you are as a person, so you can live in that. It's really crazy for me to want to be a 6'4" black male playing basketball somewhere. Because I'm not. I'm a 5'8" white guy that doesn't even like basketball. So when I live in my zone of who I am as Randy, then that's where I need to be. And the more I live in that, the more integrity I have. If I live over here, I'm living not just a lie to myself, but I'm living without integrity. I'm not being true to myself. So let's look at a couple of these definitions, and I want to hear your feedback on it. So integrity is adherence to moral and ethical principles. Soundness of moral character. It's incorruptible. So what does that mean? It means that first you have to have a code. So your code could be not lying, telling the truth. Your code could be being on time. Your code could be say nice things about other people. Your code could be don't do physical violence to others. Your code could be as a parent, love my kids. Your code could be, if you're a person of faith, love my God and live that out. Your code can be all the things that you know you need to do. Try as hard as you can, no matter what you're doing. So if you live with that code, then you're living with integrity. So let's say part of your code is try your hardest. Well, it doesn't mean that you're perfect. So if you're budgeting, you try your hardest to do a budget. And when your hardest still doesn't work, you say, I need help with this. And that's normal, right? There's times I've been at my house and I try my hardest to fix a plumbing situation, right? I'm the guy on the commercial you see with the pipes blowing up and he says, honey, I got it. I don't got it. I need to call the guy on the phone and say, can you come help? Because I need to be honest with myself that I tried my hardest, and if I try any more, I'm probably going to ruin something. Same thing with electricity. There's people that are good at that. I need those people to come to my house to do it. Mechanics working on a car. I'm not a guy working on your car. I'm great breaking things. I'm not the guy you want fixing. But I need to go to a guy that's a mechanic that's honest, who's going to tell me, oh yeah, you know, you just need to fix this, and not tell me I've got to spend $1,000 when I can get away with spending $100. That guy is in integrity and honesty. But I have to be first truthful with myself. If I'm prideful, I'm going to try to work on that car. I'm going to break it. I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to spend way more money than I need to because I think that I'm all that. I'm not all that. I need to recognize it. You need to recognize where you're all that and where you're not all that. And then you need to focus on it. If you're parenting, you need to figure out where the holes are as a parent so you can raise the best kid possible. Not for the world, but because you want to bless that child and have them have a life that maybe some parts you missed. But we all have to be honest and understand, where are my parenting models coming from? And then you say, you know what, I don't feel like I had any good ones. So then we have to go find what a good parenting model looks like. Same thing with our health, our wellness, our jobs, our education. So when you're incorruptible in your integrity, that means that you're saying, here are my standards, I'm not going to go below them. So if you're a girl in this room and you're in relationships, your standards for a male should be someone who's going to love you unconditionally,
Amen.
loves you just who you are right now, and believes in you and wants to cover you and protect you and be there for you and never cheat. That's your guy. If you go below that, then you're not
have
living
no
with integrity.
self-respect
No respect.
for yourself.
Exactly. But oftentimes we do that in relationship because we need a person. And it doesn't mean it's right. So you have to be honest with yourself, and if you're in a bad relationship, sometimes it's harder to get out of a bad relationship than it is to go find a new one. So these are big life questions. That's why I'm saying if you listen today and apply this stuff and figure out who you are and your code and all that and start living that, your life is going to truck out just fine. Because it's you. You're whistling down the street, man, this is me, and I'm rocking me. And you need to be honest. Doesn't mean you can go around being nasty to everybody. This is me. You're stupid, you're fat, you're dumb, you're ugly. I'm just being truthful. You know, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is figure out your code, because one of your codes should be say nice things to other people. Right? That's a good one. If you can't say something nice, what does it say?
Don't say anything at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know something, admit it and learn. So this is what integrity does. It's incorruptible. It's also sound, unimpaired, perfect condition. So if we were talking about a car out there, we say, man, you know, that car has a lot of, it has some integrity to it. It's the brakes are working, the radiator, everything's working today, right? If we don't, we say it's a junker, it's a lemon. The quality or state of being whole. So in you, completeness. So when we talk about Covenant Community Services, you know, we developed a mission, vision statement, said we envision a future where every foster child lives in wholeness, relational, physical, emotional, right? Spiritual, thereby ending the curse of child abuse and neglect in our community. And so it will not pass to the next generation. So what that means for you is we have such high standards for you. So everything we do is not just to take up time and to make it, you know, difficult for you to pay EYF or have a budget or go to a class or do that. Everything we do is for you, not for us.
Yeah, it's gonna benefit us.
But we have to apply it and we have to be honest about it. So we have to sit back and say, well, what's important for us to talk about? You know, I think cooking classes are important. I think DMV is important. I think having jobs are important. But you know what I think is more important than that is honesty and integrity.
I agree.
Because you can have a license and be a liar. And you can have a job and a house and
Yeah.
treat
Be a
people
cheater.
mean and beat your kids and cheat on your spouse and be a jerk. But if you live with honesty and integrity, you could be a janitor somewhere and live a blessed life and find a lot of value in that. You could be a school teacher, you could be a doctor, you could be anything and live with honesty and integrity. How many people do we see in the world that get everything that we think you should have? Fame, fortune, mansions, everything they have, and then they end up putting a bullet in their head because they don't live with honesty and integrity. So it's better to have little with honesty and integrity than have much and be a liar and not even true to yourself. So honesty defined, quality of being honest, upright, fair, freedom from deceit. So what's the difference between the two? I like some of these little bullet points I put here for you. Integrity means being truthful to yourself, whereas honesty means being truthful to others. Some other ones there. Integrity talks about inner self, and honesty talks about outer self. I like this as the example. Honesty is when you cheat on your math test, and when you get it back, it has a big fat A on the top, but you tell the teacher you cheated. That's honesty. Integrity, never cheating. You're committed to your rules, your values, your principles, everything you stand for. So guess what? You need to know what you stand for. You need to create the life that you want by standing for the things that you believe in. And you need to figure out what those things are
For yourself.
for yourself. It doesn't mean no good to tell you you shouldn't use substances and abuse them, whether it's alcohol, pot, crank, whatever substance is out there. It doesn't mean no good for you to tell you to stay off opioids and not do that stuff. Because I'm just telling you my standard. It does something great for you to tell yourself that I'm not going to do these things because they're not good for my life. Then you own it. It does us no good to tell you to budget all the time and watch your finances because programs end and you need to learn how to run this life on your own, be the captain of your own ship. It's good for us to give you that information, but sometimes you've got to internalize that and say, you know what? I want to have a future. I want to have money in the bank. I want to be able to do things I want to do. I want to have clothes on my back. I want to have, not top ramen 14 times a week. I want to do the things that I need to do, and I need money to do that. So budgeting is important to me. And I probably need to quit smoking, and instead I could put that money in a little bank and go on a vacation. But that has to be important to you. It just can't be Randy saying, don't do this, don't do that. Once you get your own standards set, then it's easy to live with integrity. So every time your babies start acting up, and you say, you know what, I'm never going to lay my hand on my child in anger. I will discipline them, I will do whatever, but I'm never going to harm them or hurt them. That's a pretty good standard. So guess what? Every time, it's late at night, you're sick, you're not feeling well, you're upset, somebody's been mean to you all day, it's real easy to take it out on a defenseless little child. Right? True story. People do it all the time. However, your standard tells you, you know what? Mom or dad needs a break right now. I need my own private time out because I'm going ape in my head. And you fix that, and then you go be a parent. Because that baby needs you to be you and live to your standards. Same thing if you're in a relationship. And that relationship could be with a case manager, it could be with a boss, could be with a friend, could be with a loved one. So why does this matter to you? Look at the bottom of the first page. These questions I would love for you to take home, please, and really think about this. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Are you a victim or are you a victor? And it is so easy for us to live in a victim mentality. To say all this stuff happened to me. And I get it, man. Jacked up stuff happened. We're all in this room because some things happen. That doesn't mean that's who you are.
I sit there and cry and let it take over.
Yeah, you are awesome people with a great future. And we believe in you. And God loves you. And we love you. And we want you to succeed and win at life. But you have to believe that. And that doesn't mean days are bad or always great. It means that stuff happens. We still have life. My mom got cancer. My mom didn't die of cancer. She dies of something else. It was a horrible day. I have friends, their parents are dying all the time. My dad is at an age where everybody's dying. And it's horrible. I mean, guys that used to come in here and mentor and hang out, they're dying. There's going to be a funeral this week for a guy that mentored someone in THP. So it doesn't mean life's great because we're living with integrity and honesty. It means that we can deal with it better. From a standpoint that we're just trying to be the best us we can be. So when you look in the mirror, who are you? You have skills, you have gifts, you're all beautiful people. You're all great. But you need to know that when you look in the mirror. I can tell you that. And I want you to live on that hope until you get it for yourself. But you've got to get it. You've got to say, no, I'm rocking me. And it means you start from today. So if you want to lose weight, start today. If you want to get an education, start today. If you want to learn more about yourself, start today. Get on Google, come in here. You have the resources to change your life and transform it to be the life you want. But not if you sit back as a victim and say, you know what, I'm blaming that guy, I'm blaming my mom and dad, I'm blaming my uncle, I'm blaming a foster home, I'm blaming a group home,
There's a
I'm
lot of
blaming
people like
Stephanie,
that.
I'm blaming LaBrelle, I'm blaming Randy, I'm blaming DHS, I'm blaming Tay. I'm just going to blame everybody for all my problems. And that's how we live, not in integrity and honesty. So when you look in the mirror, you have to have this talk with yourself. I do it with myself all the time. There's days I look in the mirror and have a talk with me. I'm like, dude, come on, really? This is who you are? This is what you're going to do? Live up to your own standards. And then you say, okay, I'm going to go do this. And you rock your world. What do you need to tell the person you're looking at? Are you a champion or a chump? Right? You're all champions, but you have to know that and live it. So I love this quote about boxing. And it says, champions are crowned in the ring, but they're made on the road. And what that means is all the preparation that they do, all the training, all the dieting, all the weights, all the running, all the workouts they do, all the way up until that moment in the ring where you're the winner. It's not just that little moment in the ring that made them the winner. It's all the stuff you didn't see. So for you, it's all the stuff nobody sees. It's your quiet time. If you're a person of faith, it's your prayer time, it's your Bible. And if you're a person that's trying to chase your education, it's your homework. It's not just taking the test. If it's at work, it's thinking about your job and being a person of integrity and honesty. In your relationships, it's all the ways when you could have said something stupid and caused another fight, but instead you said, you know what, I'm going to take the high road. So it's all these ways that we live. And then look at this third one. Are you stuck because you struggle to be honest with yourself? So we see who you are. And we challenge you to grow and be different. So guess what happens? When you don't accept the challenge and you fall back a couple steps and start being in victim and chump mode, we see it because of what you say, of what you do,
Your behavior.
and your behavior. But you lie to yourself and say, oh, no, it's not me. Yeah, no, you didn't tell me I need to do a budget. Okay, every month we told you need to do a budget. You didn't tell me AWIF. You read the manual. You listened to it. No, you didn't say that. You said something else. So you lie to yourself now to cover yourself so you are still cool, and then you put this over here on that person. Well, now you've just broken your integrity, your honesty, and that relationship. Instead, we should say things and be humble and say, like I do with my wife, hey man, I'm sorry, I blew it. I was upset, I was angry, I shouldn't have snapped at you. My bad, please accept my apology. And we can move on. Right? All you can do is be the best you can be, but don't lie to yourself. Do you need to continue your education, lose weight, make some more friends, spend time with family? Your integrity and coach should be stronger than anything you attempt. What that means is you need to live up here, not down here. You need to live up here with your integrity. I'm never going to go below this standard, right? And when you set that up, we did this. Those little rules right there. We learned to do some rules when we were working with foster children at Rural Family Kids Camp. We set up 10 rules. That's not those, but that's kind of shaped off them. And so we got with the kids, 6 to 11 years old, and we said, hey, how is this going to be a great camp? Let's make rules. Let's do a contract. So we came up with rules. Rule 1 was you must always have fun. 2 was keep your hands, feet to yourself, and then a kid added teeth too. Because he knew he was going to bite somebody if something happened, right? And then it was hands, feet, body parts, teeth to yourself. The other one was you must only say good things about other people, right? Glorify God was one of ours, like, because we were faith-based and it was camp for kids and we did that stuff. But we had these camp commandments. Stay with your counselor always, right? Because you can't go running off in the woods. So big mountain. So the kids came up with this. And then guess what happened every time? Oh, keep the camp clean was another one. Because, people just throw stuff all the time. So that's in your cabin too. Be on time. That was a great one. So we started teaching this stuff to 6 to 11-year-olds. And the camp process was awesome. So as we go through that, and somebody breaks a rule at camp, we don't even have to enforce it. Some little 7-year-old goes, hey, you're supposed to be on time. And some little 8-year-old girl goes, no, we need to pick up our trash because the rules are keep the camp clean. So that became the level of integrity at the camp. So it was easy to do camp because everybody agreed on it. And that's what we kind of put there. You know, just for here, no cell phones in class, pay attention, don't be eating in class. I mean, just, we've had people come in here high, sitting here eating chili dogs, everybody's like, dude, for real?
What the heck?
You know, so it's like, come on, man, just don't play games. But, you know, hey, it's the world.
Chili
So,
dog?
yeah, so he sat here and eating chili and chips. Just
Note to
stoned out of his
self.
gourd, man. And I just called him out on it. I said, really, dude, you're going to sit here and chew on
Did
your
he deny
Funyuns
it?
and, huh?
Did he deny it?
No, he's like, oh, my bad. And leave.
Wow.
But he was just in his own world, you know, thinking, I'm hungry, I'm high, I'm listening to this guy. You know, but,
Wow, all right.
yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's funny.
But anyway, so afterwards I said, hey man, how would you like if I came and you know, you were talking to me about something and I did what you did? Yeah, I guess I see your point of view. I'm like, well, think about that before you come into class. 1, high, and 2, with food. And so, you know, what I'm saying by that is, if you set the standard, then you don't go below it.
Yeah.
Right? So set that standard. You also set it in your housing. If you're in substandard housing, that's not how you live. Get good housing. Figure out how to, and then if you say, okay, right now I can't get good housing in a safe neighborhood and all that because I'm not making enough money. Well, then guess what? You need to change something in your system so you can get to where you want to be. That doesn't mean you're going to be a mazillionaire. It means that everybody can live at a place that's sustainable for their life. But you have to make changes to get there. And hard work and all these things we said about ethics and integrity and education, they all play into it. So integrity matters to everything. There's a list on the bottom. Now when you look over at this last page, Steph, do you have the time?
Yes.
Is that you?
10:37.
Uh-huh. Yes. Right here. See?
I was trying to figure it out. Your nose looks different there.
It's faded.
But
out.
really, what got it was the eyebrows.
Awesome. Okay, so on the bottom of this is called a Venn diagram. And Venn diagrams have circles basically with a truth on it. And then another circle with a truth on it. And where they overlap, that's where you really find success. Right? So maybe another one would be hard work, effort, success in the middle. Right? But this one says integrity and honesty. And the real you is when those two overlap. When you're full of your integrity, you're living up to your standard, and you're honest with yourself and with others, that's the true you. And that's what we want to see, and that's what the world wants to see. God only made one of you, and he broke a mold. So he wants that. And in his eyes, you're awesome, amazing. In our eyes, we look at you through his eyes, you're awesome and amazing. Doesn't mean we don't mess up. Doesn't mean we don't make mistakes. Doesn't mean that we're always going to get it right. What it means is we're living with integrity and honesty, and we get the true you. So think about your code. The back page of this, I would love for you to do some homework on this and just think about it yourself, because these are the kinds of things that really shape your life. If you can get this big level stuff worked out, you can work out all the other stuff. You can get in shape, you can go to school or go to a trade school, you can get the job you want, you can figure out who you are, but you can't do it when you're not honest with yourself. Just like I told you about working on stuff and being mechanically inclined. I have to be honest with myself and say, no, that's not me. I'm good at reading and writing and speaking and leading and directing, so I've got to follow that path for me, right? Doesn't mean I can't go work on somebody's car or try to help them. It means that that's not my greatest use of me. You have to figure out what yours is. Do you like people? Do you like numbers? Do you like working with your hands? Do you like working with your head? Do you like quiet places? Do offices drive you nuts? Do you like being outside? So start matching up these things. Do you like kids? Do you like old people? You start figuring out who you are and what you like to do, and then as you go forward in that, work on those gifts and talents, and you will see things blow up for you. But the hardest thing to do is put a square peg in a round hole. You can't do it. Watch a kid with blocks. You know, they're just banging it. And that's all they're doing is banging. Nothing's happening, right? But if you get the round peg, round hole, man, it slides right in. And it's like, that's how it's meant to be. That's how your life is. These key principles of integrity and honesty will help you march out on it, right? We tell people this when we were doing foster care. We used to recruit, train, certify families to be foster parents. And I would go sit with some families. I said, man, we're not going to do this with you. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. I won't put my kids in your house, and I'm surely not going to put a foster kid in your house. I don't even want to drink a cup of water out of your faucet. And they're like, well, County, I don't care. No. You're not going to be a foster parent with Covenant because we want the best. Because the kids that we are going to place in your home need the best. They don't need another chump. They don't need somebody doing it for the money. They need somebody that's going to give them the best they have. Right? So it was very hard for us. People will go complain. Oh man, they won't take us in as foster parents. Because not everybody should be a foster parent. There's some people that are gifted to do that and they need to be doing it for the right reasons and the right things. And if you're not, then don't do it. Go do something else. You know, and I used to sit with people and say, you know, do the math. You know how much you get paid a month? You know how many hours you're responsible for this child? You could work at 7-Eleven for, 6 hours a day and make more money and have less headache. You're bringing a life into your house. You know, don't think about money. Either you're doing it or you're not. And if you're doing it, then do it with all your heart, mind, and soul. And so that cut us wrong. And we always stated about 15 families. But guess what? All of our 15 families adopted because they were in it for the right reason.
That's cool.
They weren't in it for the wrong reasons. They were in it to win it, in it to make a change and make a difference. So it was hard on us as a business model because we always lost families and we always lost placements. But we weren't doing it as a business model. We were doing it to bless the lives of kids and families, to match families that wanted to be with a kid together and then watch it all unfold.
That's awesome.
So that's the same mindset we come into case management with and everything we're doing now. So we're trying our hardest. We want you to try your hardest at being you. We're not telling you what you have to be. We're saying here are life principles we know work. Budgeting works for everybody, whether you're rich or poor, right? Integrity works for everybody. Honesty works for everybody. Chasing your dreams works for everybody. Being a good friend works for everybody. Being a good spouse or lover or boyfriend or girlfriend. Being a good parent works for everybody. Being on time works for everybody. All these things we're talking about. Trying your hardest works for everybody. Right? So, man, bless you guys. Work on this stuff. Please read it. Please look at it. If you need another copy or want to share it, let us know that as well. But you guys are awesome. I believe, you can rock your world. I'll leave you with a couple of these quotes that I thought were really good. Some people you might know, like Benjamin Franklin on the $100 bill. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is more than lying. It's truth-telling, truth-speaking, truth-living, and truth-loving. James Faust.
On the
Honesty
back.
is the fastest
Page
way. No, I'm reading these. I'll get you this.
Oh.
Honesty is the fastest
There's
way
one on
to
the bottom.
prevent a mistake from turning into a failure. Now, that one I think we could talk about before we leave. Honesty is the fastest way to prevent a mistake from being a failure. So we all know we're going to make mistakes. Not a problem. We do what's called fail forward. So if you're going to fail going forward. So honesty is a way to prevent a mistake from becoming a failure. So if I go and take a test and number 4, I get wrong. I made a mistake. And that mistake is, drinking and driving, the limit in California changed to 0.04. And I think it's at 0.08, right? So I go out, it's legal to drink, it's not legal to drink and drive. I have too many beers and I get in my car and I start driving. And I get home and my wife says, hey man, you had too much to drink. This isn't a true story, I'm just sharing this. So you had too much to drink, you shouldn't be driving. I said, oh man, right, mistake.
You do it every
Now,
weekend.
if I do it every weekend, I get a DUI, my life's changed, maybe I hurt someone, harm someone, kill someone, and that mistake's now a failure that I'm gonna live with that the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, honesty would tell you, you know what, dude? If you're gonna do that, use Uber, use Lyft, call a friend, walk. Bakersfield's not that big of a city. It's better you walk somewhere than you kill another person.
For sure.
So honesty helps you turn mistakes into successes and not failures. So be honest with yourself, live in integrity. Love you guys. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.